Fishing for cockles from the coastal town of Whitstable in Kent is totally dependent on the tides, and a late start on a Sunday night is not uncommon. In order to catch the earliest usable tide, Patrick Smith, captain of the fishing boat Cardium 2, and fisherman Jason Blurb start work preparing the boat with the tide just beginning to flow. As the water rises to a point where the boat can put to sea, the crew examine the charts and fishing instructions from the Kent and Essex Authority to plan where they hope to find the highest concentrations of quality shellfish.
Where we fancy tonight then?
Not the Royal Shoals, that's for sure. Where I was fishing the other day, that was there. You said they were good cockles. That's it, that bit area along there.
Oh yeah.
You said they had a lot of meat in them, didn't they?
Yeah.
What were they, about 5 to 6s?
With a location in mind, fishing gear stowed and the tide rising, the Cardium 2 pulls out of the dock and heads for the open sea. Once clear of the docks, the boat makes full speed toward the cockle beds that the crew hope will yield the best quality fish in the highest quantities.
Like, until we get out to the channel, we ain't got too much to worry about. Watching the radar, make sure that they get no small boats about.
Before the sea gets too choppy, Jason takes the opportunity to carry out some last-minute maintenance and keep an eye on any weather heading their way that might have an impact on the fishing.
Yeah, you've got a good lightning storm going down there to the east. Playing the rain. We've got about another hour or so and we'll be fishing. Fixing a leak. We had yesterday. It didn't weld it very well because of the rain. It's got some plastic pad. So we're just coming on top of the sands now, I would have said.
This is why we like to go walking, because it shows you what we're catching and what there is in the ground for next year. These are the kind of things we want to avoid when we're dredging, because as you can see they can do a lot of damage to your dredge and even write the dredge off, which has been known. This is the disadvantage of fishing a firing range, because you've got bombs that are unexploded, you hit them with your dredge, you could do a lot of damage. So that's why we like to walk the grounds and basically see what's around.
5:30 AM and the Cardium 2 is finally approaching the cockling sounds. The sled is lowered to the seabed and the fishing begins.
Well, basically the way the gear works is we pump water down one pipe, which loosens the ground in front of the blade and just lifts the cockles out. We collect them with the back blade and then we suck them up with the 8-inch into the screen. The screen's got 16mm gap between the bars. The cockles go in, the small cockles go back over the side for next year's season, and the bigger cockles go down the hole for processing ashore. You can tell how good a quality by the sound of the rattle. When that sound goes from like a clonk to a then you know that they're not so good. I'm deaf as a post, but that I can hear.
Quality cockles, good size. Yeah, they're nice cockles, they always are up here. Bit of spat in them, but not a lot. Nice and clean, no shell. Yeah. That's what we catch anyway.
Further up the ground you go towards South End, you know, generally that's the best area of yield. When you drop in the deeper water, the cockles roll down. So what you've got to try and do is you want to go down to where the cockles are, and then usually at the bottom of the hole of water you'll get the shell where they die. That's what you want to try and avoid. Yeah, and all the time I can see them above that shaft. That's a nice steady amount, about 120 an hour.
With the fishing going well over a patch of sand giving up large cockles with a good amount of meat, Patrick gets some news he was hoping to avoid. The area they are fishing in is going to be used for firing practice by the Ministry of Defence.
Yeah, we got it's 6:30. They usually start firing about 9 o'clock, which is 9 o'clock is half hour's in. So it's a nice time to move up the ground, find a little spot somewhere clear of the alders. Trick of the job is watching where everybody else fishes, trying to find bits that are missed. Luckily the lever tend to work together quite a bit, whereas you notice I like to stick about on my own. Get nice cockles, clear clonking away on the chute. This year, because we had a lot of rain early on, quality's been good. Bigger cockles for the top end market. People prefer bigger cockles. Yeah, we just had a call just to say can we move south of the line Delta, which runs from the beacon to the line on the shore, so we just had to move up so we're now clear of it, they can start firing.
Having been moved up the grounds by the Army, the Cardium 2 meets up with its sister boat, the Ollie Ray. With an hour's head start on Patrick's boat this morning, Captain Jason Jones has so far had a good morning's fishing.
But the fishing's been, for the time of the year, I'm quite pleased. Yeah, we found a little spot that hasn't been touched, and we had a good 2 hours fishing there. But the area we're going into now is been fished quite a lot at the beginning of the year, because they're usually the better yielding cockles up the top end of the sand, so I'm not expecting the fishing to be that great up there, but we've got a good start. So normally you would fish and work your way down the sands, so you get longer to fish down the bottom end, but today we can't do that because of the firing restrictions. When somebody's pointing a gun at you, I think that gives you a bit of a good reason to move, doesn't it? Okay.
It's not long after the MOD requires the boats to be moved that the Ollie Ray has completed its quota and begins its journey back to Whitstable Harbour to start unloading the morning's catch.
We managed to get 3/4 of our load before the Army called us up, and then we had to move up the ground further, and all in all the fishing was very good today, and we managed to get our load in 3.5 hours fishing. And we are giving the boat full power to try and get back into Whitstable Harbour on the same tide, and so we can get them cooked fresh.
Back on the bridge of the Cardium 2 with their load complete and the boat sitting very low in the water, Patrick is starting to get concerned about it making it back on the falling tide. The boat is very close to beaching as the water becomes more shallow by the minute, and if they can't get off the sand soon, he will have to make a decision on taking the ground and beaching the boat safely for several hours until the tide rises again.
Trying to get off with, so little water about, you've got banks everywhere, and it's a matter of finding your way through banks.
In this race against time to get the cockles back in the harbour and cooked at their peak freshness, Patrick uses all his skill and 30 years' knowledge of this part of the sea to tiptoe across the sands and make for deeper waters. Finally off the banks and heading home, back end of the morning tide, Jason makes the most of the travelling time servicing and cleaning the Slim pump, while Patrick gets more good news about the Army's actions tomorrow.
They've just given us all clear. So that means we can go where we want. They won't be firing. We can pick and choose.
Back in the harbour, the fish are unloaded onto a trailer to be taken to one of Danny's processing plants, where the cockles, fished less than 6 hours ago, are cooked to maintain perfect freshness. Once the cockles are cooked, they're sorted for size and canned accordingly in some of the most state-of-the-art processing factories in Europe. Once the cans are sealed, they are sterilised in pressurised ovens and then stacked and packed, ready for labelling and delivering to retailers with high quality shellfish all over Europe and beyond.